Hey there, I'm Christine Collins, and I have for you today 4 easy to use tips that will make you a better writer and a more effective content creator. So when you think about your content creation process, pause for a minute and ask yourself, does it feel easy? And even more importantly, does it feel sustainable? Is it something that you can continue with, that you can kind of keep it going in a consistent way for your audience? And if the answer to that is not sure or no, then these tips might be really useful for you. Even if your content process is really smooth, I think you'll find that these tips will help you to make it even more smooth and simplify things for you so that you can keep going with it. So the very first thing that I always recommend is that you follow the energies in the creation process. And what I mean by that is there are 3 kind of consistent energies that we tap into as we go through creating something. Whether you are writing a blog, designing a webinar, creating a course, writing a book, really any type of creation that you may be doing in your business, you are going to be tapping into a creator, creatress energy where you are generating ideas, you are coming up with exciting and juicy topics, you are generating the work. And then there's also a part of us that has to be like an editor or a critic. And that is the part where you kind of go back and cut through your work and say, this is a little too long. This part could be cropped out. This part is just kind of confusing the situation. I want to simplify it. I'm going to eliminate this piece. So there's a part of you that's capable of going in and kind of cutting through the work to perfect it, to make it better, to improve it. And then finally, there is a planning energy where you take all of the different things that you've created and you make decisions about how to disseminate them out into the world. So you're thinking about, okay, I recorded this video on this day, I'm going to share it on this day. And so those are 3 really unique energies, and each of them has a unique energy. When you're in the creation mode, it's really all about fostering and generating exciting ideas and not allowing your critic nature, your editor nature to get involved, to slow down that creation process. And then also when you're in editing mode, it's really just about perfecting the work without yet thinking about where it's going to be the most useful. That's your planning energy. And when you try to do all 3 things at once, they can really get in the way of one another. So when you're in creation mode, the best thing to do is to bracket out the critic, forget about the known obstacles as you're creating things. You don't want to think about, oh, well, this won't work because blank, because this can't happen or that can't happen. Focus solely on what you can create and just try to generate those juicy ideas. So separating out those 3 energies is the first suggestion that I have for you. The second one is to start at the end in terms of what is your objective, what is your main goal, what are you wanting to accomplish or achieve with this work. If you know that the purpose of the work is to help to educate your audience, or if the purpose of the work is to help a client to move from point A to point B, you want to create with that in mind. So it's a kind of reverse imagineering process where we begin at the end and then determine, based on that hoped for outcome, what steps we need to take in order to reach that goal. I like to look at it as pretending that I'm actually paid more by sharing less. In other words, oftentimes we can be overly loquacious where we explain, and we really say too much and we can't really get the point across clearly. For our audience to be able to receive it, it really helps if you simplify and boil down the point and to state it as succinctly as possible. The more succinct you can be, the better this quality product will turn out. And fourth and finally is to capture ideas in the moment. And the reason that I say that is because it's happened to me many times that I'll be coming out of a meditation or a hypnosis session and I'm just like full of all these really great juicy ideas, but then there's something that I've got to run and do afterwards, maybe cook dinner or run off and do an errand. The best thing you can do for yourself as a creator is to capture your brilliant genius ideas right there in the moment. So make sure that you have a tool of some kind, whether that's a notebook that you keep in your purse or on your nightstand, or perhaps you like the electronic versions. I use the Notes app in my phone. Sometimes I've been known to hey Siri, a text to myself, while I'm doing something else. So whatever tools you decide to use, make sure that you have a method to capture that idea when it strikes you so that you can come back to it later and revisit it and flesh it out into a video, a blog, whatever it is that you're doing with it. So I hope that you've been able to use this new information, and if you have any questions or you want to check out my work, you can visit me at transformcreate.com. And in the meantime, Magical Creator, I hope that you have an absolutely magical and creative rest of your day.